He's a veteran politician who served 4 terms as a PAP MP. He was an outspoken MP, Member of Parliament, and after stepping down, he continues to be outspoken, right? He is fiercely and fearlessly patriotic as a Singaporean. Inderjit Singh, welcome to Inconvenient Questions.
Thank you, Vishwan. Happy to join you today.
Yeah. I've been wanting to ask you this question for some time, Inderjit. Ever since you stepped down, you've continued to be the same Inderjit Singh, who's an MP in Parliament, who spoke up and sometimes got hammered, right? But you continue to do that now off stage, right? You continue to put posts that are critical of the government policies. Sometimes you support the government policies, but you continue to speak your mind, right? Now, I'm just wondering whether you feel that some members in the PAP leadership might see you as a turncoat. Some members may see you as trying to score points after stepping down. I'm being very blunt. I mean, do you believe that that's happening? Or have you had that kind of experience?
Yeah, Vishwa, I was the same person before I joined politics, when I was in politics, and since I left politics, I've not changed. And so many people have many different views of me. I'm very passionate about doing what is right for the country, and wherever I can contribute, I want to contribute. So whether I was in Parliament or now off Parliament, I continue to do this. I know it does make some of them uncomfortable, but I think anyone who thinks that I'm not patriotic is wrong and is making a silly mistake. I've been as patriotic as before, and it does not matter if anyone thinks otherwise. I think Singaporeans can judge for themselves.
And one of the key things I remember you brought up, you brought this up even when you were in Parliament, and you continue to bring this up, that the government actually would benefit from listening to the ground.
Yeah, I think if you look at the first generation of leaders, and maybe to some extent the second generation of leaders, they basically became political leaders by listening to the ground. And so many of the policies that came about was how to improve the situation for Singaporeans and improve Singapore in general. And so this is something that good leaders should continue to do. But over time, I think maybe the extent to which they are listening to the ground is not something that I think is sufficient, and they need to do more of it.
Because frankly, when we talk to individual leaders, whether it's 4G or otherwise, when we talk to them, they are concerned, they are interested. It's not that they are disinterested. They work very hard. Okay, at least my experience is our leaders do work very hard. But the key thing is there has been this comment that they don't have a sense of the pulse on the ground.
Yeah. So you see,
what's the reason for that?
It's a question of who do you listen to, and a question of how do you take frank feedback. I think there are many people who do give frank feedback that you may not agree with, and then you come down hard on such people, and I think they stop giving you the kind of frank feedback that is needed. And also, so it's a question of who you listen to, and what do you hear. So I'm sure that in terms of working hard, our leaders are working very hard. They are smart. They work very hard. But it's also very important to understand where to get the feedback from. And I think this is a knack that the good leaders should have, that I know the first generation, second generation, even the third generation leaders have. So I think this is hopefully something that the 4G leaders may want to pay attention to.
Could you, an experience that you may have had when you were an MP, where the feedback is actually very strong, but how did you handle that? Very strong and very critical. And let's face it, as a human being, it makes us uncomfortable when someone you work so hard, but all you hear is negative things. How did you feel? How did you handle that?
For me, as a I would say as a backbencher, I spent a lot of time listening to my residents, listening to the business community, and that gave me a lot of inputs that I brought to Parliament to try to convince the leaders that change is needed. But I myself face a lot of opposition when I bring these things up, and sometimes ridicule in the parliamentary debates. But I was not deterred, because I think I observed over a long period of time. I was not wrong. In fact, and finally the leaders understood. It took a long time, but they understood. I give you one example, and that is the growth at all costs economic policy. When I started talking about this many years before they realized, no one believed in it. But after 2011 election, we started seeing a change of strategy, of inclusive growth strategy, which is the right thing to do. And these are the kind of things that I saw change over time. But I think it would have been very useful for the leaders to listen to this earlier. I give you another example. This debate about dependence on foreign workers.
Yep.
In 2009, I gave a talk at the IPS Perspectives, which is an annual event, and I wrote a chapter in a book that IPS published about this thing, about how we have to balance the whole thing. The debate is coming up now. Now I wrote it in the 2009, but I think no one refused. No one wanted to look at it. They refused to believe in it. But now they've kicked the can down the road and they need to solve the problem now. So I think, these are many examples that I faced where good feedback did not get the attention.
Yeah. But the thing is, you just like others, you also spoke with the best intentions, right? And I think that's, if you ask me, that's also very important, right? I mean, don't assume the worst of the person who is critical of you.
Yes, I think I saw some recent comment, that some of us are traitors to the country now. No, that's completely wrong. I give you my own example. Actually, the Prime Minister wanted me to do one more term in 2015. I declined. I wanted to step down and focus on other things. So so I stepped down not because I was unhappy. I wanted to. I did 20 years, 4 terms, and I wanted to change. But to me, I have Singapore at heart, and whether I'm in the Parliament or outside, I continue to do the same thing. So we are patriots, and I think the leaders need to realize that anyone with an alternative view is not a traitor. Is a patriot, can be a patriot. Some are, but most are patriots.
So we don't have much time left, but I really want to get your sense of, what's your sense of our 4G leaders today?
The 4G leaders, first of all, unfortunately, they did not have a long runway to test who they are and their capabilities. And so up to now, they didn't have some policies that we can attribute to them. I think most of them are still 3G leaders policies. So the COVID situation was an opportunity for the leaders to show their capabilities. And unfortunately, they worked very hard. We have no doubts about that, but some of the decisions made and outcome has kind of got some Singaporeans worried about the ability of the 4G leaders to lead forward. I think CK did an excellent job in presenting the budget. It showed for the first time in a long time, actually, that the leaders understood what needed to be done for the business community and for Singaporeans. So I think his reaction was excellent. But I wish that we could have got better outcome from many of the other leaders. So this was an opportunity that they could have shown excellence in performance. And this is what Singaporeans want, not just for handling a crisis, but it shows their ability to handle future issues. And I think this,
and that they've got a sense of the pulse on the ground.
Exactly. So I think my sense is that it would have done them good had they consulted widely and listened to some of the feedback and some of the suggestions that came forward, rather than destroy arguments too early in the process. This is something that is a kind of society, the kind of government people want. So the 4G leaders, should take the opportunity to build on this. That this is what Singaporeans want, and how can they, govern in the future in this way.
There's definitely a very high expectation of people in government, especially office holders. There's a very high expectation. And part of it is linked to the fact that people say, look, you want high salaries, we give you high salaries, but we expect very high outcome. But as a result, you can see that some of the comments about the interministerial committee and so on, the decisions made, if you ask me, some of the comments are actually quite unfair. Because I don't think there's any government in the world, including New Zealand, that got it 100% right. So I do feel that the ground has been somewhat unfair in the way they are expecting 100% hit rate in all the decisions. But it also begs the question, how has this expectation come about? This expectation has come about because the government has continued to say that we will always deliver. We will always deliver. So you've pushed the bar up unintentionally. You push the bar up. People then now can't have zero tolerance for even the slight dip. What's your sense of it? Because that is not sustainable. That's not sustainable.
No, it's not sustainable. And I think, this is something that the government should have actually addressed earlier on, that whether it's a COVID issue or any future issues will require the partnership with everyone, Singaporeans, with companies, with civil society and so on, that we all need to work together as a group. But instead, they continue to push this point that the government will solve all of our problems. And I think, therefore, people's expectation is that the government should have solved all our problems. Now, if you look at the 4G leadership, some of them have done well, some of them have not done well. So we should not say that they are not good leaders, And I think the other thing is, compared to SARS, social media today, is very fast to point out issues that during the SARS we did not have, the social media that could do that. So some issues may have also been badly handled in the past, but they did not become so obvious. So I think we have to be fair to the leaders. They are trying, but the thing is that now we are going to go to a general election very soon, and the 4G leadership must show confidence that they will be able to handle not just this issue, but future. In fact, the new normal is going to be very tough. Repairing the economy is going to be a tough thing. I think up to this point of time, we do not see the real plans that can give us comfort that there's a solution. So if I were the 4G leaders, I will quickly come up with some ideas on how we're going to tackle these future issues.
But, let's go back to the point that we discussed earlier, right? It's all about expectations. Let's face it, politics is all about expectations. So when the government or the political leadership, right, says that we've got the solutions, it's our job to come up with the solutions. It may have worked in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. But today, it doesn't work. There's no government in the world that can say, we have the monopoly on wisdom and we'll be able to come up with all this. You're shooting yourself in the foot. I think the time has come for us to move a little bit more away from government leads, the rest follow. Now it should be everyone leads together, with the government perhaps one step ahead, but everyone leads together. And until this is understood, expectations will continue to soar. That's my view. Now, how do you think this can change?
Yeah, so I think there was an attempt by the 4G leadership, the Singapore Conversation and the Committee for Future Economy to consult as widely as possible. But somehow, it does not appear that all the ideas may have been taken, from outside and may have been taken into the final outcome of what was decided. So, for example, the Committee for Future Economy, the outcome was something that surprised many of the people from the private sector. So you're right. So I think the world is complex. And if you look at the composition of the 4G leaders, almost none of them have got that kind of private sector experience, nor will they have experience in civil society and some other areas like migrant workers and so on. Yeah. So I think it will do them good if, let's say, they look for partners to solve issues rather than leave the idea that government knows best and no one can do better than government. I think the era is gone. We have got many good people who are not in government and who could be useful contributors. We must make them feel welcome and value their input so that they volunteer. But if, let's say, every time someone comes up with an alternative idea and you hit them with a sledgehammer, people will stop giving you ideas, and then you will be a monopoly of few ideas in government. So I think for Singapore's long-term good, you're right, that it has to be a collaborative approach that everyone gets involved in solving problems. Government alone can't solve our problems in the future.
But Inderjit, would you agree that that will only take place if the government is also more willing to share the credit when things go right?
Of course. I've got wait, there's can you see me?
You see, I think you've been censored.
Maybe repeat that question.
Yeah, I'll repeat the question. You see, you're being watched by Big Brother, man. So my question to you is this, right? So I think the collaborative approach will only happen if the government is willing to share credit when things go right. Right now, there's general sense on the ground. People I talk to and so on, they say, what is the point of giving a view? Because in the end, if it's a good idea, the government is not happy about saying that this idea came from someone else. This is the perception. So people are not willing to come in. How can we change that?
I think they have to change. I myself experienced in Parliament many times, where when we come up with an idea that's radical, I mean, I come up with ideas, some MPs also did, And that was viewed as a wrong idea and cannot work. Then a few years down the road, you see something being implemented and government takes full credit for it without going back to thank others. So for example, the streaming in schools policy, many MPs, not just me, many before me, many after me, argued to change the system. When it got changed, no one got the credit for that. So, growth at all costs, economic policy. I mean, there were many of these things that I think would have done good to the government to say, well, I listened, and this was idea came from outside, and you see we are listening. So I think it will do the government good and not bad by admitting and by sharing credit. I think it will, and then you encourage more people to contribute.
We have 30 seconds more. Could you tell me if there's one thing that you'd like to see in the 4G leaders? One thing that you are not seeing enough of. What is that?
I think what I would like to see is what you just mentioned earlier on is that, real collaborative approach with the rest of society. And I think this does not seem to appear. 4G leaders continue to display the attitude of that we know best, and and just listen to me. I think that is a whole environment. It cannot work anymore, and it requires mindset change in the leaders. That there are people outside who could be wiser than me, and then I should use those wise ideas to effect changes that can help the country.
What comes to my mind is what Einstein said once, that imagination is greater than knowledge. And then there were other people subsequently who said, knowledge without character is a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
And we can all be in that dangerous zone if we don't start listening to others, because we don't know where this road that we're taking is going to lead us to. Thank you very much, Inderjit, for joining.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.